This is the base iPhone 16, the 6.1-inch A18 toting device. This is the Apple iPhone 12 that came out in 2020. And today we're going to see how both these vertical camera iPhones stack up to each other in a speed test. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and let's go ahead and begin this video speed test with a boot up in 3, 2, go, and see which one can get there first. And you can see there's the Apple logos. Apple A18 on the left. We do have a 5-core GPU. On the right, 4-core GPU. This is the Apple A14 Bionic chipset, so we're 4 generations ahead here. And I'm always excited to see how these older ones stack up. And the iPhone 12 turns on faster, but that's not going to tell the whole story. And you could see both of these light 6.1-inch displays. You'll see older notch right there, and we have the new dynamic island, the much larger vertical cameras. So this is one of those upgrades that might be worth it. We'll do a full comparison between these soon. But it looks like the older iPhone, once again, in the speed test has won the boot up. Pretty strange. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at Face ID now. So with the iPhone 16, it's just housed in Dynamic Island. No major differences. I do find that these newer iPhones do a good job on multiple angles, but the iPhone 12 wasn't really a big difference in that respect either. So yeah, Face ID, pretty similar on the day-to-day when it comes to that. Now, because both of these phones do have 60 Hz refresh rate displays and iOS 18.0.1 on board, with 18.1 coming later, effectively rendering the older iPhones a lighter version of the software, generally just kind of scrolling through the main general performance, the average person would be like, this is the same thing. And that's why you get a lot of comments, same phone. No, it's not the same phone. That is just a very, not looking at the details comment. The fact of the matter is there's upgraded cameras, there's faster battery, faster chip. Is it the same general design? Similar, yes. And the performance on the home screens is not going to change much because it doesn't require much power. But you're going to see in these upcoming tests that they do have pretty substantial differences in performance. Okay, and when it comes to the software, confirming the software, 18.0.1 on the left, 18.0.1 on the right. These are the official versions of that software as well. All right, and instead of going straight into the app test, I'm going to show you the benchmarks first here, 3391 and a 2061. You can see over 1,000 points better on the single core, but if we take a look at the multi-core, that's very interesting. 4 years later from an iPhone 12 base, coming over to the base here, we have substantially larger scores for basically the same money. And I know it's been several years, it should be this upgraded, but at the same time, if you're paying the same money now as you paid years ago, you're getting substantially more power. So this is a very, very nice improvement here. And one of the things about this is it's actually pretty similar to the scores you're going to find on the Pro models, which makes the iPhone 16 base and Plus kind of interesting this year. So yeah, this is a pretty obvious win to the iPhone 16. Go ahead and run a Wildlife Extreme test now. It's a 1-minute graphic test, and we're going to see which one does better here and how they perform in the graphics department. I'll be back. And you could see it took nearly a minute longer for the iPhone 12 to finish this test. And the results pretty much speak for themselves. 4045 on the left versus 2040 on the right, with an average frame rate doubling that of the iPhone 12 on the iPhone 16. But it's not 4 times better. This is 4 years newer, 4 generations ahead, but it's not 4 times. It's more like double the performance. But you'll see right here, 87% better than other devices on the market and 38%. So the iPhone Max the 16 Max did 91%. So this is nearly at the Pro level performance for less money. So just with a 60 Hertz. So you've seen right there graphically, you're going to have much better frame rates. You're even having better frame rates on this 16 base than some of the older iPhone Pro models, even maybe 14 Pro. So this is definitely a really nice upgrade for people who are buying the regular models for sure. Now, when it comes to editing video, as long as you use things like iMovies, you're not going to see a massive difference in the timeline. Apple's got this thing super smooth, no matter what you're doing, whether you're splitting clips or anything of that sort. This is a pretty basic video editor, but definitely it does really well in most respects. Even when adding filters and things of that sort, you're going to find it to do incredibly well. And then super smooth. As the video gets longer, it could run into issues potentially on iPhone 12, but it's not going to happen on the 16. Let's go ahead and do a quick render to see which one can render this video out faster. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and save video, and we're going to see which one can export this thing quicker. I'll be back when they're done. In a very shocking turn of events, you've seen the iPhone 12 won the export. That was incredibly weird, but I actually think I know why. I think the iMovie app is updated more for the iPhone 12, better optimized. So the iPhone 12, in a weird turn of events, has taken that one. I'm not sure that would be the case as the video got longer. It is a 4-minute and 14-second clip, but I got to give credit where credit's due. Now that we ran some benchmarks, we ran some video rendering. Let's check how they are managing this heat. And so you can see right here, we're a little bit under 100 degrees. Okay, we hit 104 on the max, 105, 105.4. So that's pretty warm for what we were doing there. Let's see how we're doing here for iPhone 12, 107, 106.8. So the iPhone 12 definitely hotter than the iPhone 16 when doing that task, but not substantially so. So both of them doing okay after all those tests. All right, so let's go ahead and launch some apps. You can see all the applications are closed out. We'll start with calendar. Think a little faster on the animation for the left. iPhone 16, a little quicker there. We'll go to alarms, world clock, and swiping out. Let's go into calculator. And I'm not seeing almost no difference. The only thing I'm seeing is so far on these base apps, well, that was faster, the 16 to load that splash screen. I'm seeing a difference in animation. That was quicker on the left, but I think the 16 is going to pull ahead once we get into the more content loading apps. And let's go to following, iPhone. You'll see a little faster on the left, and we'll go into just any random article. And things such as just scrolling Apple News, that's not a big difference for either. Let's go in App Store. You can see faster on the left to load. So once you start getting a little bit more heavier content popping up, the iPhone 16, as you can see, look how long that's taking, is definitely going to do a much better job in that respect. So I do think in certain scenarios, the iPhone 12, you see here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. So in certain scenarios like that, when you're loading up a lot of content, I think the iPhone 12 could potentially get bogged down once in a while, but it's not anything substantial. Like, it's not going to change your everyday use for just basic stuff, but it will feel snappier. It will feel faster for the 16. Let's go into X, formerly known as Twitter. We'll go over here to profile, and iPhone 12 slightly behind, it looked like, but not massively. Let's go into YouTube, and that was first on the left. We are on dark mode, it looks like, on this side. Anywho, let's go over here to home. We'll go to this trending tab. We'll go to this trending tab here. And you'll see, once in application, YouTube is pretty well optimized on both. You'll see everything running very smoothly there on both. Let's go on to Amazon here for both phones. We're still on Prime Day. So I loaded a splash screen. I'm going to try that again to see if we can avoid that splash screen. Yeah, faster on the 16 with no splash screen. And I had to remove eBay. Let's go ahead and go into Groupon. And you'll see faster on the left. Way faster on the left. We'll go into categories. And how about hotels and travel? And you'll see some cool Chicago hotels. We'll scroll down. As content starts loading, I do find both of them to be pretty similar, as you can see right there. Probably going to be more network dependent in here. We'll swipe out of there. We'll go to Jetpack Joyride. Now here we come into a casual game. And even with casual games, the iPhone 16 loads these so much faster. Bang, you're right in there. And plays them smoother. So that's definitely, this is definitely the area of upgrade, I would say, is the gaming. Let's go into Subway Surfers, as it is with like the Maxes too. Look at this, bang, right in there. Look how fast that was. Goodness. Wow. That is like night and freaking day. Look at this thing, like a turtle over here. So definitely so much faster. And that's only going to get worse for iPhone 12 as age goes on. And that kind of stuttered coming out. And let's head into Real Racing 3 now. And we'll see how much faster the iPhone 16 is over the iPhone 12. And you'll see a couple of seconds there, and we are now in. And the iPhone 12 caught up later. And you'll see right, so let's launch into Dead Trigger 2, see what they can do here. And game mode appearing, we're already ready to play for the 16, and then comes the iPhone 12. Once clicking play, you're going to be playing faster for the iPhone 16 as well. Let's go into Tempo Run 2. I do think the 12 is doing pretty good considering it's on several years newer updates. But you'll see it's basically no match for the newer one. You would already been in this game playing by the time that has loaded up. So definitely iPhone 12 even falling behind in casual games and stutters a little bit sometimes coming out of those games. You'll see I clicked those at the same time, but this one made a little bit of a slowness when trying to open that. And here comes the 16 flying to the races. And these might give us an account issue because we're on the same. We'll see what happens. So yeah, the 16 definitely won that thing out for sure. It was definitely there. I didn't hit the count first though, but it was definitely there much faster than the iPhone 12. We'll go on to PUBG Mobile and we'll see what happens here. You'll see game mode do appear for both, and the game mode should enhance some of the older iPhones' performance, but it's still not going to be enough to bring it to the level of a newer phone. So don't get that twisted. Don't think just because you have a game mode that you're going to be, okay, well, it's going to shut things down. I'm going to perform just like a 16. No, you're not. You're not going to have the same level of GPU here. And I do have to say with that glass back on the iPhone 12, it gets pretty warm under heavier gaming. I would definitely have a case on this thing for gaming. But let's swipe up out of here and speed test. And you'll see that was much faster for the 16. And Geekbench 6, that was pretty delayed, but still opens as first. This app hasn't been updated yet properly for iPhone 16. We'll go into 3D Mark. Faster on the left, and iMovie faster on the left. So the iPhone 16 won almost everything here. There was a couple of things that were bright sides for the iPhone 12. It was behind a couple seconds, and some people say, well, these couple of seconds don't matter. They actually kind of do, because when you're going through all these stuff day to day, there starts to feel like there's this general slowness, and like things just aren't loading quick enough when you're trying to get things done. On some of the older iPhone 12, 11, 10R, some of these older phones are starting to feel like that to me. I don't know if they got slower. They didn't feel like this at first, so I'm not sure if they got slower, but definitely they don't feel like they keep up with the speed at which I'm trying to do things these days. iPhone 16 definitely does. Let's go ahead and do a RAM management test. All right, so let's begin with the iPhone 16. 8 gigabytes of RAM, first time on a base model iPhone this year, getting 8 gigs. It was mostly done due to the Apple Intelligence, which is also going to bring Apple into the future here. I'm wondering if we're not going to see a yearly iPhone upgrade, because it seems like their focus is more on software and AI. So I wonder if the yearly iPhone upgrade is going to continue on. But you'll see, generally everything held pretty well. I think we had a couple that we're trying to refresh. This phone looks like it auto-dimmed as well, overheating protection feature. So let me check the heat right there, because the iOS software is determining that this thing is getting too hot. 110 degrees. It probably is getting too hot. Let's go ahead and see if because of that it actually slowed down our RAM management, or is going to kill off some things in the background. We'll go here. We'll go here. Pretty good. And so far, so good for the iPhone 12. 4 gigabytes of RAM. This is up from the 3 we had on the 10R. That's a reload. That's a reload on Subway Surfers. I'm not going to wait for the whole reload. So if it starts reloading, we're just going to swipe out Jetpack not held. So here you go. You're seeing it right here. This is where, and I know it seems like, oh, I'm not going to do that much. It's not that you're going to go over here like I'm doing and open all the apps and then reopen them. What will happen though is that as you're going throughout your day, you might do this, like go back to something and then you try to click it and maybe it's open, maybe it's not. It's going to be a catch. It's going to be like, is it open or is it not? And it's not that serious with some of these base apps. Just have some patience. But let's say you're like doing a message, you got to go check something. You're in a quick situation. You need to check something really quick. You're in line. Somebody's pressuring you in the line and you got to open an app up real quick. and the thing is not loading, that slowness with that reload can be annoying. So definitely, and it got overheated. So definitely you see the efficiency has gone way up for the iPhone 16 here in this app and RAM management test. All right, so for a quick internet test, let's go to yahoo.com. You'll see, I didn't even see that one. It might have been the 12. If we scroll through though, as we're scrolling down, this does have a lot of content. So as we're scrolling down and speedy, you'll see it is doing pretty good. So it might come down to how well a website is optimized. Let's go to apple.com here. Apple.com, and we'll hit go on both. And much faster on the left for that one. As we load up more about the 16, faster on the left. So even your internet is going to be quicker. Also, your modems are faster, so you're going to have faster 5G on the iPhone 16 and overall faster performance due to the single-core CPU enhancements. So this is a much faster phone, even for general usage, it seems like, on the iPhone 16. All right, so let's take a look at the Wi-Fi speed differences. We do have faster Wi-Fi standards on the iPhone 16. That's a 7. This has the older 6 on the iPhone 12. And we will be seeing pretty high scores there for the iPhone 16. And pushing 609 on the download. Not great uploads right now. Not my best. But definitely pretty good there. Let's go ahead and try out now, once this finishes up, the iPhone 12. All right, so let's see if we can beat that on the iPhone 12. I highly doubt we can beat that on the iPhone 12. It doesn't look likely, for sure. It really doesn't. 293, we're only at 300 right now. Yeah, this definitely doesn't look super likely whatsoever. 330 down. And we have 1920. So a better upload, kind of weird. But way slower download. And I think that's reflective of how much faster the Wi-Fi is going to be. Also, the 5G is going to be quicker. So connectivity speeds also speedier for iPhone 12. And one last thing of speed I like to check before we wrap it up is camera. Now, you do have a camera control button, which we're not going to use because it's not fair. You can also launch camera from the action button, which is also all new for the iPhone 16. But you can only launch it on the app for the iPhone 12. And you can see faster to launch on the left. We'll do that again. 3, 2, go. And you're getting that photo faster for the iPhone 16. Also, you have 2x now, 10x. So you're up half a zoom. You still have the ultra wide on both. If I go back to the 1x zoom, take a photo. Shutter speed's not massively different. iPhone 12 keeps up there. Overall, a pretty decent performing iPhone 12, but definitely is not even close to the iPhone 16 at this point. So wrapping it up, the iPhone 16 demolishes the iPhone 12. iPhone 12 is overheating, it's dimming the display, it couldn't reload the applications, it has much worse benchmark scores, and I'm not trying to make you feel bad if you have an iPhone 12, it's getting older. That's the bottom line. It's 4 years now since it launched, it's time for a change, it's time for an upgrade. The iPhone 16 is much faster. Am I saying a person can't get by? Absolutely not. If you said, hey, Nick, bro, I'm keeping this thing till the 17, I don't care what you say. Well, that's fine. Well, it's okay. Keep it to the 17. I'm not saying it's unusable. I never said it's unusable. I'm just saying it got demolished by the 16. If you guys found this video entertaining, informing, helpful, enjoyable, any way, shape, and form, click the like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, and what you want to see going forward down below in the comments. I'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.